Hi guys, and welcome back to my Week of Wahala 2 series. This is a new series on my channel where I take one eyeshadow palette and I do a whole week's worth of uploads focused only on that palette. So this is the third look that I've done using Wahala 2. If you want to see my other looks, I'll link them down below for you. I will also link the playlist. This is the first palette within the playlist. So the playlist is just those two videos, well, 3 videos for now, but it's going to grow. So if you are interested, then just keep an eye on that playlist or save it or whatever you can do with a playlist. Anyway, if you've never been here before, hello. My name is Rachel. I'm a huge dork, just so you know. I am also a homeschooling stay-at-home mom. I really love to play with color. Colorful eyeshadow is one of the ways I enjoy expressing myself, and I upload several videos every week. If you want to see lots more, I do hope you'll consider subscribing before you go. Now, this is going to be a quick video because I'm in a little bit of a hurry, but I wanted to get it done. Let's get going. Hi guys, I want to do a really quick video for today. My little one is sleeping. I'm a little bit rushed today, but I want to do another look with Wahala 2. And today I kind of want to play in these aqua and blue tones a bit. I don't want to be totally matchy-matchy to my shirt, but that's not the end of the world, right? I mean, it wouldn't be awful if I were. So I'm gonna prime my eyes using the Glamlight Icing Primer, and then I'm gonna dive in and see what happens. I think what I'm gonna do is a blue and green crease. I'll deepen the outer corner with some green, and then I'm not sure which shimmer I want to use. That's kind of going to determine if this is more monochromatic or a little bit different, but I'm going to start there. I've got a pinched blending brush from e.l.f. This one is sort of crescent shaped because it's pinched on one side more than the other, so it's a little bit of a half moon shape, and I'm going into the shade Fury. Now I'm going to start this in my inner corner. I want it to be dark because I think I'm just going to, I don't know if I'll do an actual cut crease or a faux cut crease, but either way, I want the shimmer to show up against this blue. So I'm dipping into the pan and then pressing the shadow into place, as opposed to trying to wipe it back and forth. And because I have slightly hooded eyes, I need to bring the shadow up a little bit higher than my crease so that you can see it when I'm looking straight ahead. Then using the same brush that I've cleaned off a little bit, I'm going into the shade Lust, and I'm going to lay this in the second half of the crease and out onto the inner corner. I kind of want the outer corner to be pretty heavy with this tone. The reason I chose this one instead of the Jealous shade, which is a little bit more blue and lower down in the palette, is because this was closer tone matched to the blue. So I'm taking Lust and leaving that in the whole outer corner. And I'm not bringing the color too high. I don't like my color to touch my brow, so I try to keep the main shades like low on the lid and in the crease, and then I use a slightly lighter shade to blend them out, but again, not too high. If I lay down the shadows too high, then they blend too high. I love this color right here. That is so pretty, so pretty. Now this is where I have to be careful with the blending because it's going to be really easy to pull these dark colors way higher than I want them to be. There is no very light toned blue or green in this palette, so I'm actually going to grab the shade Lit with a pinch and smaller blending brush. And Lit is a little bit more close to my skin tone, although it's peachier. And I'm laying that right on the edge of the shadows. And I'm just going to softly work them to soften a bit. It's not going to bring in a lot of the peachy tone to my look. What it's doing is it's adding in a neutral to the very edges of those tones, and that will help me buff a little bit. Ideally, a pastel would do this much better. I would prefer to use a pastel to do this kind of thing, but I don't have a pastel in this palette, and it is the Week of Wahala 2. This is my third look now using this palette, so I'm not going to dip into another palette. I'm just working with what I've got. Now I want to take a much smaller pencil brush and grab the shade Egg Balmy. I don't know if it's Egg Balmy or Egg Balmy. The M is capitalized, so maybe it's Egg Balmy. Not sure. Anyway, it is a dark foresty green. I'm grabbing that and I'm going to deepen just the outer corner. As you can see, this blend is not perfect, but it's good enough. I'm on a little bit of a time crunch. I want to get the eye look done. I really wanted to play with this palette some more for my Week of Wahala 2. But I heard my little one stir. I was going to film about an hour ago, and then my older daughter came down for help with her school, so we spent the better part of an hour working on that. And when she went back upstairs to continue work by herself, I was like, do I have time? Do I have time? We'll see. I think I'll be okay. Just kind of moving my way through so I don't take too much time. All right, so here's where I'm unsure about the shimmers. I was looking at both of these two shimmers right here. This is called Venom, this is called Hater. But then I was thinking maybe that would be too monochromatic, although they are a little bit more blue than the greens and the dark blue that I've got already. Or I could grab one of the silver shimmers and be definitely not monochromatic. Or I could use a silver shimmer as a highlight. I'm not really sure. But when I first saw this palette, I was really drawn to the aqua row. So I think I'm going to play in that today. With a flat C or shader brush, I'm going to grab the shade Venom. I'm taking this one because it's slightly lighter tone. And I think it's going to give me the contrast that I like between the light matte and the light shimmer and the dark mattes. I've sprayed this shade on my brush and I'm going to start it in the inner corner. I'm going to do a faux cut crease up into that dark blue. That's pretty. It does add some contrast. It does bring a bit of a different tone. A little bit more of a sky blue kind of shimmer. I'm carrying that over to meet the dark greens, but I think I'm also going to bridge the gap with a darker shimmer. Just here where the shimmer meets the matte. I'm going to bridge that gap with a shimmer called Dope. It's a dark blue, almost midnight blue sort of shimmer, but it has a bit of purple in it. So I've sprayed that shimmer and I'm going to put that right here where the shimmer meets the matte. And it'll bring in a slight, kind of like a peacocky element to it, especially if I add in purple at this point. But the blue into the green is quite lovely. And with the blending brush that I used before, no additional product, I'm just tapping over where the shimmer meets the matte to help merge those two different formulas together. Now I definitely want to take that Jealous shade with a small pencil brush, run it along the entire lower lash line. This is the other one that I considered instead of the Lust in the outer corner. This is very similar to Lust. It's just a bit more blue, whereas Lust is the one I laid down and it's a bit more green. But honestly, when you see them next to each other right now, they look the same because I added blue to the green. So anyway, this is the shade Jealous, and I'm running that on the whole lower lash line. Maybe not the whole. I'll stop at about here, so maybe 2/3 of the way in. Then for an inner corner highlight, I've got a small pencil brush. I've grabbed the shade Ambitious and I have sprayed it. And I'm going to lay that down right here, and I'll carry it onto the lower lash line to meet the green blue matte that I just put down. What I'm doing here is dragging them back and forth into each other. So I'm dragging a little bit of the silver shimmer to overlap a bit of the green aqua tone. And then I'm also dragging some of the mattes to meet some of the silver shimmer. And it's creating a bit of a blend that looks sort of like fish scales. And I do really like it. It's very pretty. There you go. On the waterline, I'm going to take this light blue shade from ColourPop. It's the shade Big Splash. I think it's possibly from the Cabana Club collection, although I'm not entirely sure. And that is the look. So I'm going to go off camera and line my eyes. I'll probably do a winged eyeliner and a couple other things, and I'll be back to show you how it all turned out. All right, guys, here's how it turned out. I do actually really like it. It turned out a little bit more blue than I was expecting, but I like it all together, and I didn't want to go fully monochromatic, so I'm glad that I threw in a little bit of bluish purple and then a little bit of silver. I think it's really pretty. I hope you like it too. I did not do a wing because, again, I'm a little bit pressed for time, and I also didn't really want to. On my lips, I'm wearing NYX Butter Gloss in the shade Cinnamon Roll. It's a brown. I've bought a couple more. I think I said I bought a couple more of these, so I have a red now and have a brown, and I like the formula, and I wanted a few extra colors. On my face, I am wearing two of the products that one of my subscribers very generously gifted me. The first time I tried bronzer, I think that video is already live, I had dipped into this tone here, and I discovered that my skin, because it's cool undertones, probably needs a cooler tone bronzer. So I've been using this one, and I actually think it's kind of cute. I actually think it looks a little bit more like a blush, at least when I use it. Maybe I'm doing it wrong, but I think it looks more like a blush, and so if I use the bronzer to the point where it actually shows up, I don't bother doing a blush. And then as a highlighter, one that she sent me was from Nomad Cosmetics. She sent me two like this. This one is called, it's from their Around the World series. It's called Kofa Nang Moonlight. I'm so sorry if I mispronounced that. I'll put it on the screen spelled properly. It's definitely Taiwanese, I think. Anyway, it's a beautiful purpley highlighter, and I'm gonna, hopefully you'll be able to see it if I turn my face. It's just right here, a little bit of a purple sparkle. So I think it's fun. I look forward to using this with really cool tone looks. And that is everything. So I hope you like the look. I know this was a quick video. I just wanted to kind of get it done and move along, but I've been having a lot of fun playing with this Wahala II palette. I hope you enjoy the look. Remember to like and subscribe before you leave if you like what you see. Until I see you guys in my next video, I hope you have a great day. Bye! But I want to do another look with Wahala II. I hope that I did. Wahala II. And, most of that spray did not get on my shimmer.